Okay, so in this one, we're going to talk about acid-base balance disorders and compensation. So in order to best understand this, we need to remember the basic ranges, the acidic values, the alkaline values, the normal values for pH, CO2, and bicarbonate. All right, so pH, CO2, bicarb. And this is P little a CO2, meaning that we're worried about the carbon dioxide in the arteries. We're also worried about pH in the arteries as well as bicarb. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our acidic values. We've got our normal. And then we've got our alkaline. Okay, so pH, we go 735 to 745. If we're acidic, we are less than 735. If we're alkaline, we're greater than 745. For CO2, our normal range is 35 to 45. If we're acidic, we're greater than 45. Remember, CO2 is acid. So alkaline, we're less than 35. Okay, bicarb, our range is 22 to 26. Remember Kobe, 24. He's kind of the normal number, or that number, Kobe's number is the normal number. Bicarb is a base. So here, I'll just remind you this, base acid. Okay, so we become acidic when we're less than 22, or we say our bicarbonate is in an acidic range when it's less than 22. It's alkaline when it's greater than 26. Okay. So based on that, we should be able to determine whether or not someone has an acid-base balance disorder. And remember, with compensation, what we're doing was we're talking about how one system picks up the slack for another system. So we've got no compensation, partial compensation, and full compensation. All right, so let's just start off with an example. So this is the example I've used a lot in class, okay, in review sessions. So we're just gonna say that you go visit my mom in Utah this spring to have some of her strawberry pie that my dad thinks is amazing, okay? And so when you go up there, just think about what happens when you go to altitude. What are you gonna start doing? You're gonna start breathing more, okay? And so as a result, we're gonna say that your pH becomes 7.60, your CO2 gets down to 30, and to start off, we're gonna say that our bicarb equals 24. Okay, so now what you need to do is determine what condition this person has and what kind of compensation is occurring. And so the easy way to do this is you just compare each value to its range. And so we've got 760 here, which is greater than 745. So what we say is this person has some sort of alkalosis. Okay. If we look, whoops, sorry, wrong button. Okay, CO2 is 30, which is less than 35. Okay, so that's also alkalosis. And then our bicarb is Kobe, 24, which falls in the range between 22 through 26, so this is normal. Okay, so based on these three values, we can determine what this person has. And so we're going to say this person has respiratory alkalosis with no compensation. Okay? And the reason being, so here this determines the alkalosis. The fact that the respiratory value, the CO2 value, is also alkalotic lets us know it's a respiratory issue. And the fact that there's no compensation we know because the bicarbonate is normal. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing, but all we're going to do is we're going to change one number here. Okay, so we're going to say pH equals 7.60, PCO2 equals 30, but in this case, bicarbonate, we're now going to say, 20. We're going to say this is 20. So what happens? This stays as alkalosis. This is an alkalotic number because it didn't change. But 20 is low bicarbonate, so we say this is acidotic. And so now what happens is we say that this person has respiratory alkalosis with partial compensation. The reason that we know it's partial compensation is because the bicarbonate is out of balance. It's not in its normal range, but it's not done enough to change pH back into the normal range. Okay, so let's do this one more time. So in this case, we're going to say pH equals 7.43. We're going to say CO2 still at 30. Bicarb is still at 20. Okay, so all we've done is we've changed one number again. Okay, this is normal. This is alkalotic. This is acidotic. Okay. Well, we also have to take into account that this is really close to the alkalotic value, so we're going to consider this pH alkalotic. Okay, so as a result, we have respiratory alkalosis, but this time we have full compensation. And the reason we know it's full is because our pH is normal. All right. And so since our pH is normal, but our CO2 and our bicarbonate are both out of range, and they're out of range in the same way, we can say that we have full compensation. Now, there is a way that we can kind of identify all of these. Okay, so we're going to start off with no compensation. So the way to look at it is we can go no compensation. pH is abnormal. And one of two factors, and when I say factors, I mean bicarb and CO2 is abnormal, but only one of two is abnormal. Okay, meaning one's messed up, which is causing pH to be messed up, but the other one's normal, meaning that we're not doing anything to fix it. Okay, sorry, I wanted to get the right color here. All right, so next we've got partial compensation. So again, pH is abnormal, but both factors, so both bicarb and CO2 are abnormal. And for this class, they would be abnormal in different directions. So one of them will be acidotic and one of them will be alkalotic. All right. Third situation, not the last, but the third situation is full compensation. Okay. So with full compensation, we've got pH is abnormal. And both factor, wait. Oh, excuse me. I knew I screwed up somewhere. So pH will be normal in this case, but both factors are abnormal. And so just to be clear here, we're going to slide that over a little bit. So 2 out of 2 factors, I don't know what else to call them, are abnormal. But we also have one other possibility. We could just have a healthy person. Healthy, that's healthy. So in this case, pH is normal. And both factors are normal. So in other words, if you have 3 normal values, nothing is wrong with that person. Okay? And so hopefully this helps you give a better idea of what it's like or what's going on with acid-base balance disorders. If this helps, I'm going to say this in every video, give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't, do a thumbs down. But tell me in the comments why it's not helpful so I know what to do to fix it. Thanks.